Good afternoon. So, I'm just sitting around with 5 minutes to myself. Hopefully, 5 minutes. Before this house gets overrun with kids and kid-like things. For all you people that have kids, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I thought I'd come on and talk about what's in my mind. Now look, 99.9% of the time, what's in my mind is completely meaningless and pointless to your life or mine. So what do I mean by that? What's in my mind? I mean, literally, like, what am I thinking about at this very moment? This very moment. Other than thinking about 5 minutes from now, I'm going to be chasing around a 4-year-old whose number one objective in life is to destroy the house that I've bought and live in. But between now and then, what I'm thinking about is Big Ten fans in particular. What do you mean by that, Pigskin Pete? Why are you thinking about Big Ten fans? I'm not thinking about Big Ten fans in general. What I'm thinking about is the Big Ten fans that come on my YouTube channel. Because I post a lot of Big Ten related content. And what I find is not only shocking, but amazing and fantastic. And what I find is the most delusional fan bases in the entire country. And you may be saying to yourself right now, if you're a college football fan, is that there is no way on God's green earth hell will freeze over, Kim Kardashian will get liposuction before you can convince me that the Big Ten fans are worse than the SEC fans. I'm here to tell you, not only are they worse, but it is an astronomical compound on how much worse they are. You know when they say 2 to the third power, or whatever, you start talking about atoms, you start talking about nuclear bombs, you start talking about to the 100th power, all kinds of crazy numbers that nobody can even comprehend in their human brain. Well, that is exactly what Big Ten fans are. 10 to the 5 millionth power delusional. Well, that's one hell of a statement to make. From some jobber YouTuber who's only got like 1,600 subs. I mean, this douchebag wears sunglasses in the house. Who wears sunglasses in the house? Nobody. I mean, stupid people, mainly. What does he know? Well, I don't know much. Never claimed to know much. I know what I know. Might not be much. But even though I don't know much, I do know that the Big Ten is the most overrated conference in college football since probably 2010. And go ahead and tell me different. Oh, but Pete, we got Penn State. Yeah, exactly. You got Penn State. They have not been relevant since the little boy touching scandal. You know what I'm saying? I do love James Franklin. I do think he's a good coach. I think what he's done there in the midst of all that controversy has been nothing short of amazing and fantastic. No doubt about it. I'm a huge James Franklin fan. But don't sit here and try to convince me. And again, we've been over this. I'm not the smartest guy you ever met. I'm damn sure not the dumbest. But I know what I'm seeing since this whole thing went down. And what I'm seeing is a Penn State team that is average. Slightly above average. Had a good run there. Probably should have went to the playoffs when they had Saquon Barkley and Trace McSorley. I'm a huge McSorley fan too. So take it for what it's worth. But let's be real here. Penn State's no powerhouse. And this whole idea that Michigan and Michigan State are somehow considered to be powerhouses and they're great teams. Look, there's no way. Here's how I'm going to put it. You could wake me up tomorrow morning. You could say, hey, Pete, I just got abducted by aliens and they stuck 50-inch probes up my rectum, performed all kinds of psychology tests on me. And I would believe that before you can convince me that Michigan has been anything close to relevant or anything that resumes anything relevant in the past 20 years. Probably longer than that. So, and don't even get me started on Michigan State. I mean, stop. Michigan State. Freaking kidding me. We're talking about football, right? Not basketball. Michigan State. The best team, the second best team in the ACC last year, according to the numbers, who won the divisions, was Pitt, right? Pitt was like how many games did Pitt was barely bowl eligible and they won the ACC Coastal. They lost like 5 games. 7 games. I don't even know how many. They lost a bunch of games and still played Clemson in the ACC title. And I stand up here and I say that's pitiful. Pitiful. Meanwhile, the very same year, not only the very same year, the very same days, the very same weeks, and the very same month, the Big Ten had the almighty Ohio State, which they are almighty. Hail to Ohio State. Against who? Northwestern. Now, why did Northwestern win the Big Ten West? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the only team in that entire division that's been anywhere close to relevant for the past 20 years is a team named Wisconsin. And a team named Wisconsin completely crapped the bed and shit all over the Big Ten West, at which point Northwestern swooped in with a vast losing record of 0-4 out of conference and won the Big Ten West. What'd you just say, Pete? How many losses they had? They had 4. And guess what? They were all out of conference, including a world-class ass whooping from the average ACC team named Duke in Northwestern. They beat them by like 3 touchdowns. And then I would, oh yeah, well, Pitt. That's not competition for Clemson. Of course Clemson's going to get to the playoffs. We're talking about Northwestern, who lost to Duke by 3 touchdowns. Anyway, I don't know why I'm going on this rant. I'm definitely not going to get any good feedback from this, so I don't even know why I'm doing it. But I am doing it. That's for sure. So, here's the deal. The Big Ten's a joke. And if you're a Big Ten fan and you're a fan of mine, or maybe you hate me, or maybe you love me, I don't know. I can't tell the difference half the time between the ones that love me and between the ones that hate me. But I do know this, though. I want the Big Ten fans who are being honest with themselves to come out and say, you know what, you're right, Pete. We really haven't been that good lately. You can either do that, or you can come on here and tell me how much the ACC sucks and Clemson's got an easy path to playoffs and blah, blah, blah. Even though if you're an Ohio State fan, Clemson's owned you throughout lifetime. You're 0-3 against Clemson the past time. Last time we played you, we embarrassed you. You're still a punchline, not only at Clemson, but throughout the entire country. The 31-0 showing you had was pitiful and embarrassing. You know it and I know it. Anyway. I guess this is probably a good time to end this video. So, go Big Ten!